This one needs a video. The discussion here was about, once again, versus battles. And of course, my stance as a Doyleist is that you can't really consider any of this without plot. And so one of the things I asked was, okay, in this neutral ground where versus battles take place, what are the laws of physics? Certain characters use relativity in order to do things. Like the Flash. The Flash has his infinite mass punch, which only works because he can move at speeds. He can move at relativistic speeds. So in DC Comics, basically relativity exists. But the Flash, who uses the Speed Force, can break it. In the Dragon Ball universe, relativity doesn't exist. Any character that moves fast enough can move faster than light. They don't have any special powers that allow them to move faster than light, they just can, because relativity doesn't exist. So if you were to put Goku up against the Flash, then we have a problem. If we were to allow Goku to move at his top speed, then the Flash couldn't use his infinite mass punch. He could not use the properties of relativity, which are a property of the universe, to deal damage to Goku. But if we let the Flash use the infinite mass punch, that means that relativity has to exist, at which point Goku cannot move faster than the speed of light, because there is a hard limit on the speed of light in the universe. Another good example is air resistance. Captain Falcon, you know where I'm going with this, can punch so hard his fist ignites because of air resistance. There are anime where people have martial arts styles like this too. I think Tenjo Tenge was one. So if we put Captain Falcon up against, say, Sonic, I don't actually care whether it's Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic from One Punch Man. These characters move without wind resistance. They don't experience the effect of friction on them. At which point, the Falcon Punch would not have its flames. And that also means that Captain Falcon would, theoretically, punch harder because he's not having as much resistance. So again, you either have to depower the speedsters, or you have to empower Captain Falcon. Like, that's what really, really frustrates me about versus battles that claim to be objective. They're not actually proving anything. They say that they are objective because they are putting people into neutral ground and bloodlusting them. But bloodlust means that the characters don't actually act the way they would, and neutral ground means that their powers don't actually act the way they would. Because powers and feats are dependent on setting, and you're removing setting. Powers and feats are also dependent on character and motivation, and you're also removing that. So what you're actually doing is just writing your own fanfiction. You're coming up with very arbitrary rules in a universe that is independent of the universes that any of the characters come from, and you're forcing these characters into certain behaviors and making them fight in a way they would not normally fight. So you are proving nothing about anyone. All you're doing is creating a fanfiction and deciding who wins.